Welcome back to my next video. I think we are in for a real treat today. Today we're going to meet Erich and take a look at his really great Honda Element. And now that's economical living. So Erich, welcome to the channel.
Thanks, Bob. Thanks for having me.
And how long have you been on the road?
For a year now.
Been a year now, and in the Element the whole time?
No, I had a Scion first.
And that's a little teeny tiny car.
Yeah, little four-door car.
Yeah, that wasn't easy.
41 miles to the gallon.
That was easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
You upgraded because you needed a little more room.
Yep, yeah, a little more room. I switched from the Scion, and I tried a runaway camper, pulling, the Scion pulling it, and I didn't really like towing anything. So after I sold the runaway, I looked for something a little bigger and found the Element.
So you wanted to upgrade, and you chose the Element. What appealed to you about the Element?
Well, I always liked Honda products. Great for reliability.
Yeah.
This is a 2003, and it's got 215 on it.
215,000?
Yeah. Doesn't burn any oil. My transmission fluid still as red as when I changed it, And I always liked the Elements. They were kind of a weird, niche kind of car that wasn't around very much, and nice and square.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haul my bike on the back, so I probably have a little bit more weight in there than I should, but still does pretty good.
And what kind of fuel mileage are you getting?
I still probably get about 24.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
It's basically a Civic engine still in this bigger vehicle. So I think it's a little underpowered, but it's still pretty good.
Right.
Not bad.
And were you able to get the all-wheel drive or two-wheel drive?
I couldn't find it. No, I had to stick with the front-wheel drive. It was really hard to find the all-wheel drive in Florida.
But they're still, it's a great rig with a front-wheel drive.
I upgraded after my tires and got some good all-terrain tires.
Mm-hmm.
So I had street tires, and I had a machine screw drive into the sidewall in Silverton, and I was stuck out in the mountains. So yeah, that wasn't fun.
No. And so it's serving you pretty well. I know Silverton really well. It's one of my favorite places. And
mine too.
If you've been back in the mountains of Silverton, you've really taken this places.
Yeah, I've been on a lot of the Jeep trails, like going back up and finding camping up back there, and it's been pretty good. I just have to make sure there's not a lot of like loose gravel and stuff with only two-wheel drive. But I've got back up there.
So you've been on the road for a year now. And what do you think so far?
I like it. I love it. It's taken me, years to get into this position to do it. I mean, I'm only 45, and I get VA disability. So, and I've got my bills down to $170 a month. So
wow, that's low. That's cheap.
Yeah. So, I'm just out seeing. I was in the military for a lot of years, and I've seen lots of the world. And the West, I hadn't really traveled a lot to, as a younger person, and so I wanted to see everywhere where I hadn't been. Right,
and thank you for your service.
Oh, no problem. Yeah.
And so, that a lot of long, hard work, but you got some disability out of it. Now you've got some freedom.
Yeah, and cutting my bills down so low, I don't really have to work. So.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, my brother died years ago, and it kind of puts a perspective on your life that, you talk to a person one day and they're not here the next. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. And I wasn't waiting until I got older to, save up and try and retire. I don't know what I'm going to be like when I'm 60 or 70 years old,
Right. And so what has gone well for you in the last year? What did you do right, and what would you change if you could?
Well, the first struggle I had was the mattress. That's been the biggest thorn in my side.
Really?
Was trying to find a comfortable mattress in such a small space.
Right.
I wanted something that was more along like an actual bed instead of a little thin memory foam, which I did try at first, and it didn't work out. Some other problems, I guess, driving an older vehicle, you're always got like in your mind the breakdowns and things, but I'm prepared for that sort of thing, financially, and plus I'm mechanically inclined, so that I can, I'll fix stuff on the road if I have to.
So you just, a few things have been problems, but overall it's been pretty darn good.
Pretty good. Yeah, traveling by yourself sometimes it's a little lonely out there, but
yeah.
there's tons of groups, you know, for finding people. The whole desert's full of people out here.
It sure is.
And that's pretty much, you know, anywhere anybody's boondocking, there's always somebody near there.
Right.
So I'm kind of like a hermit that likes my own space, but I like to socialize a little bit also, you know, so.
Well, this is just so perfect for that.
Yeah.
Be with people when you want to be, need to be, and away when you need to be.
Yep. Yeah, and I take off a lot by myself, so I like to get out there a little bit sometimes, you know.
Mm-hmm.
The good far outweighs the bad. Yeah, meet some great people out here, you know, keep in touch with them. May not see them for a little while and then come back across them somewhere, just see them anywhere, you know, just stumble around them.
Yeah, I like to call them bungee cord relationships.
Yeah.
You know, they stretch really, really far, but when you come back together, it's like yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, would it be okay if we took a look around in your Honda?
Yeah, sure.
Let's do that. So let's check out this great rig, folks. Well, first, let's talk about the Honda, since we're right here.
Okay.
You're pulling a little Trail 90.
Yep, Trail 90 on the back. I use motorcycling as that's my form of meditation. So that's how I keep myself mentally in check, is motorcycles. It's just my thing that I like to do. Get out on two wheels and ride. And, you know, everybody's got something that they do, meditation or whatever they do. That motorcycling is my thing.
Right, and boy, the Trail 90, they run forever, get incredible gas mileage, and just light.
That's a 1969, so.
Wow. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's great, so much fun, and it's not, the tongue weight isn't a lot on the back of the Element, so I needed something that was pretty lightweight, and it's maybe 190 pounds, maybe something like that, and then another about 35 for the rack, because most of it's aluminum other than the steel going into the hitch down there. But this has worked out perfect. I mean, I've been all over with it, right all over the desert and the mountains, and it's been fantastic to be able to bring a motorcycle with me so I can still get that, you know, something that I need. It's a thing that I need.
Okay, so how have you got your Element set up?
All right, so I built this bed bases, which is like all my storage under here, and I keep my clothes and motorcycle parts under there. I keep some battery operated power tools in case the wood breaks on here, so I can make a repair out on the road. I do carry my record player with me because I like vinyl. So
not every Nomad has a record player.
That's the record player. And so I have a 100 watts of solar, a Renogy compact 100 watt up on the roof on the rack. And I have a 75 amp hour battery. And I started out with the PWM controller first. Yeah. And I switched to the MPPT. And that really was like a game changer, because when it's low, you know, clouds up above, it really brings in a little bit more for the battery. Most of if I'm charging my phone and that sort of thing, I'm doing it on this little lithium ion battery pack. That's what I do, and it's got its own dedicated solar panel. So I really only run my fridge off of the battery. That's it. And for the fridge, I have a 12-volt compressor fridge, the Joy Tutus fridge.
Oh, that's what I have. Yeah.
And I've had it for a year. It's been a great fridge.
And you know, one of the things people get confused about is we're not out here to be miserable.
No.
You know.
Point. I have a motorcycle and my record player.
Right, and your fridge and a good sleeping bed. Yeah. So you're recommended. Jing. There we go. I got it.
Yeah. You know, I can stretch out in here, and it's super comfortable. I think I sleep better in here than I've slept in most places, most beds in a house, and I kind of like a small space anyway. I had some old cedar wood laying around, and I built that cabinet in there, and basically I just have my stove, and I carry an extra thing of water in there, and then like some extra snacks and stuff up there on the top.
Just supplies of life.
Yep. Yeah, and I made these, I like vintage stuff, so I made out of these old, like, you know, Arizona mobile home tag and house vehicle and camper, made these little doors.
Oh, look at that. That's really clever.
And they got a little clasp on.
Oh, yeah.
Closed. Yeah.
That's nice. That's nice.
And one of the big problems that I have had is my laundry. So in here, you know, the bed base is pretty much full with extra clothes and things like that. So as laundry accumulates, I always had a bag floating around.
Right.
And so at night I would throw it up on the roof. Well, I went down to town and found this guy that had this nice red metal old vintage cooler.
Yeah.
Now that's my dirty laundry bin up on the top.
What a clever idea.
Yeah.
The fridge here,
Yep. The fridge sits there, and it's part of that. You know, I do have to lift it up when I get stuff, but it keeps it extra insulated.
It sure would.
The you know, with only having 100 watts of solar in that 75 amp hour battery, it only takes a couple hours in the morning to put it through the rates of charge on that charge controller back where it's in the float. You know, these things, I tested it a lot. Like I said, I had it for a year, and they just don't use hardly any electric. You know, they don't pull hardly anything. And I keep this open for the vents on the side, you know, to keep them
sure.
vented and
Yeah,
stuff. So
you got to have that.
Yep. And that's the 26 quart.
Yeah, that's what I've got.
Yep.
I've got the exact setup.
Mm-hmm.
I'm extremely happy with it. Oh yeah, you've got a lot of spare space here.
Mm-hmm.
You can use space you've not used.
Yep. Yeah, so that's like my little, you know, vestibule getting inside the in the car. And then the solar's just, I have it hard bolted up on the roof up there. And it's stationary, kind of flat, so, you know, I'm probably not getting optimal all the time, but I can just move the car to get, I look at it through the Victron app on my phone and see what it needs. If I need to move just a little bit, then I'll do it to get it really charging up.
Well, Eric, man, you got a great setup here.
Yeah, thank you.
Really great setup. Very comfortable. Great fuel economy.
Yep.
Good stealth. You're pretty good camping in cities when you need to.
I do, but if I'm traveling, like if I'm going back home to visit my mom in Florida, I'll usually just stay at a Love's truck stop.
Me too.
Yeah, I don't try to go and dip in the city and stay any of that. No, because it's just an easy place, pull in and out, get gas, take a shower if I need to. Yeah, and so like my shower setup is a little Reliance hand pump. And I have a shower tent and then just a 5-gallon bucket with a lid.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
That's just what works perfectly.
And my cooking is I used to do a lot of hiking, so I use my MSR pocket rocket. Just a little stove.
It literally is a rocket. It's a torch.
You know, I've never had any problems with that thing.
No.
Crank it up, and even way up into elevation up in Silverton it's been great. And you know, I didn't really want a big stove because of being limited on the little cabinet that I built, so it all just fits in there nice with the hiking stove.
Okay, well, Eric, you've just made an amazing life for yourself out here. I really appreciate your sharing your home with us. It's a real inspiration for a lot of people. I think you just showed people how you can do it. You can do this.
Yeah, people can do it. You just got to get out there and do it. Get out of that planning stage and get out there and do it.
Well, thanks again, Eric. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Bob.
So, folks, I know you've been inspired by Eric and his wonderful little Honda Element. If you got anything out of this video, and I know you did, like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks, Eric.
Thank you, Bob.
Today's sponsor.